I played Spine early at Summer Game Fest 2025, and it's really great. So what is Spine? Spine is a single-player, story-rich action game in a cyberpunk future ruled by AI, where the player takes on the role of rebellious street artist Redline, accompanied by her sentient combat implant, Spine. Players join Redline and Spine as they challenge the autocratic regime of the Tensor Corporation while learning to trust each other and fight together. Spine features a free-flow gun-fu combat, is what they call it. It has camera work and combat choreography by action movie stunt specialists, and it's very evident that that's the case as you play, because it definitely feels like you're playing an action movie. Now, in the demo that I played myself, it just goes from one action scene to another action scene. It's got a similar kind of feel to the Arkham games, which is really great. The Arkham games and also Spider-Man, where you feel like there's a lot coming at you, but if you hit the right buttons for counters and responses to the attacks and dodging out of the way, etc., it really starts to feel like a nice flow as you play. One of the other cool highlights of it is that it goes from one scene to the next, and it draws from action movies like John Wick. Like, there's an actual scene that's just like one of the John Wick scenes where it's an overhead camera moving room to room as you battle your way through all these bad guys. It just gives you a really cool action vibe. It makes you basically the star of your own action movie where no two fights are the same as you play. One of the things that's really cool is that each of the bosses has their own kind of mechanics in the way that you fight them. So the demo from beginning to end just kept me interested. I was very curious to see exactly what was going to happen next, and it didn't feel overbearing, but it still felt challenging. If the whole game ends up being as smooth and fun as this, and it looks really great too, I'm going to be completely happy with this game. And for a game that's not coming out until 2026 at some point, it really feels so polished already. If you're enjoying this video, hit that like button. It really does help my channel a lot. And also don't forget to hit subscribe so you can see all my upcoming videos. I hadn't heard anything about it, and then I happened to see it at its booth right there at Summer Game Fest, and it turned out to be one of my favorite things that I did try at the event. So it was really cool. I got to sit down with one of the actual game developers from Neki, which they've only done mobile games up to this point. Another example of a mobile to console company is the company that made Black Myth Wukong. They also jumped from only doing mobile games to doing a full-on console and PC release. Obviously it's not Black Myth Wukong, but it is also a game you would never know from looking at it that it was from a mobile game developer. Talking to the developer about the game and the way that it was designed is it's not designed to be this big, massive open world game for, an insane amount of hours to play. It's much more aimed at adults who have busy lives who want to just come home and game for a couple hours and then go to bed and then live their life, come back, and not feel like they're completely burdened with tons of tasks to finish and do every single time you sit down to play. And it's not overwhelming. It's just this awesome action-oriented game that you can just play through from beginning to end. We were just chatting about games in general, and all the people on that team clearly love games, and he was explaining that that's the way that they've all approached it, is how they would want to play a game. Games have gone in a certain direction when it comes to things like Assassin's Creed Shadows, where it's just this massive game with tons of tasks to complete, whereas this game feels very straightforward. You go from one thing to the next, one battle to the next, and it's all inspired by people who love cinema and great angles and action, and it's just, from what I could tell, this is going to be an awesome game to play. In any case, the game is definitely still early on, but I am so glad I got to get my hands on this early, and I really look forward to seeing everything that they release in the near future. I will definitely be giving you guys more info as I get it. One of the things that I was really happy to hear is that they are planning to release it on the Switch 2 as well as Xbox, PC, everything. I'm sure that their history of making mobile games is part of the reason that they are confident they'll be able to bring it out on the Switch 2 as well. Those are my first impressions. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Go try something new. I'll see you soon on GameList Plus.